Oh my gosh. Hello, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to week 2 of NaNoWriMo, or off-brand NaNoWriMo. I still feel weird calling it that when some people are like, that's the company, no, that's the event. It's what we're used to, so I'm just calling it that. Last week, I challenged myself to get off of social media, and that went pretty well. There were some speed bumps along the way, but for the most part, pretty successful. And this week, I'm actually a lot more excited for. This week, I am going to write dialogue only. Nothing else, just the dialogue. Why am I so excited? Because writing dialogue is probably my favorite part. If I go into a writing session and I'm struggling or I'm tired, my brain's just not working, a lot of the time I will just write dialogue and it'll be very fruitful. I will get a lot of words in without even trying. It seems like it just flows out of me. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, so I thought this week I would try to work with my strength and just work with dialogue. And I think as I go, I will maybe read you a little bit from my manuscript, read you some of the dialogue. I think it'll be a fun peek into my writing without giving away too much. But since I am getting to the end of the novel, I might be getting into some spoilery things, so might have to be careful with that. I think I'm feeling especially good today because for a few reasons. This morning when I was walking my dog, I saw on the sidewalk that some kids wrote with chalk. They just wrote some like encouraging phrases like "you are enough" or "you are loved, don't give up." And when I saw that, it just made me smile, and I was like, thank you, neighborhood children. I needed that. And then after that, I went out with my mom. We went to lunch. I always love spending time with her and going out because I am always in the house by choice, but it is nice to go out every once in a while. My mom watches my videos occasionally, so if you're watching this, Mama, hello. Please like the video. And then when I got home, I got a package and I knew exactly what it was. I haven't opened it yet. I wanted to show you guys, but 1 minute. You just open this off camera so you don't see my address. Ooh, she's thick. Stained gold. Oh, look at that shine. This is Stained Gold, the oral history of the Outsiders. If you don't know, The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, books of all time. And I absolutely adore the movie. This book is about the movie, about the history, about its impact. Ooh, I'm so excited to get into this. It's got pictures. These boys, they did so much for me growing up. This book, this movie, this story was my childhood, my young adulthood. I guess I'm still a young adult, technically. Also, shout out to Zaida from Read Books, Get Lit. I know she's also a huge fan of The Outsiders, so you should check this out if you haven't yet. Oh, the gold also matches my shirt. Look at that. Anyway, I'm going to find a place for this on my bookshelf, and then I'll get to some writing. So I am reporting back about an hour later, and so far so good. I have written 2 chapters. A lot of it is text messages. There are a lot of texts that go on in here because my two main characters, they actually live in different states. They do see each other a lot, but also a lot of the time they do talk over text and over the phone. So I have quite a big chunk here that I think I can read to you that isn't really going to give anything away. And I'm not going to say the names, I'm just going to say the first letter. So, E. No lesson today? Me. Sorry, staying at place name tonight. E. Again? You've been spending the night there all week. Me. Got a lot of work to do. You and A go ahead without me. E. Okay. A says you owe us a girls' night though. Me. Haha. All right. Don't stay up too late. E. You too, even if you are an adult. Thumbs up. E. Is H there with you? Me. Yeah, why? E. No reason, just wondering. See you tomorrow then. Another text chain. A. Girls' night. You're still in, right? B. Answer your phone. Then another break. C. Girl, it's been forever. Where have you been? Me. Just busy, you know, the usual. Sorry I haven't stopped by in a while. I'll try sometime next week. C. Sure. Whatever works for you. We just miss you. Me. I know. I miss you guys too. That time of year, you know. Another break. I. B. Are you getting enough sleep? H told me you seemed exhausted lately. Like, more than usual? Me. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I. You didn't answer my question. Me. I'm fine. I. Just been busy. Then later on. I. B. What's going on? It's been a month and you haven't answered a single call. From me or from, names. And don't say you're busy. You've always been busy and that never stopped you from talking to us. Are you even talking to H anymore? You know I'm here for you, for whatever. All of us are. Then I'll stop there. I think that's a lot I just read, but at the same time, yeah, you probably don't know what's going on. But yeah, basically I'm at a point where my main character, B, is going through a lot in her head, and she's kind of crashing out and pulling away from her loved ones. And that's all I'll say about that. I just want to wrap up this chapter, and then I think I'll be done for tonight. And then I'll probably do some reading. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, baby. Ready to start today? I know, it's too early. Happy Monday. I've got a big old cup of tea, and I'm going to need it. I'm going to have a very full day of writing today and tomorrow. I'll explain why in a second, but first I want to tell you about an email I got this morning. I got a query response, a query rejection. Not for this project, obviously, because I'm still writing it. It's for a project that I queried a year ago, exactly a year ago, which is crazy to think about. This was for Project Road Trip, which I made a whole video about. You can check that out if you want to. In that video, I mentioned that there were about 10 to 13-ish agents who did not respond to my queries. And since I posted that video, I was slowly getting more responses, I guess, as more agents were finally getting through their piles and getting to my query. All rejections, of course. And so I got this one, and it was actually nice. it's obviously a form rejection. Maybe she personalized the beginning a little bit. She basically apologized for how long it took for her to get back to me and, gently letting me down, but that's okay. And, in the very beginning, when I was getting all of these rejections, each one hurt a lot. But since I put a pin in that project, since I've been working on this current project, ever since those later rejections came in, they didn't hurt as much. They didn't hurt at all, really, because at that point I had accepted that Project Road Trip was not ready. It still had a lot of work that needed to be done. So yeah, I get it. Anyway, back to why I'm going to be busy today. I obviously have Project Psychic, and then I also took on a work assignment that will take up some of today and most of tomorrow. I'll have to give that a lot of attention. And then I also have an ARC review that I want to get done. I review books that I get off of NetGalley. I really like doing that. And you can post those whenever, but I have a set schedule for myself, and I would prefer to get this review out tomorrow. So I'll have to read the book today and tomorrow. If it gets to be too much, I'll just maybe push the ARC review to next week. It's really not a big deal. But the priorities are my novel and the work assignment. I'm going to prioritize my work assignment first, since that has a deadline, and then I'll get to my novel. Usually I don't work on my novel when I'm working on assignments because I'm tired, but since I'm just working on dialogue this week, I think it'll be doable. And then if I'm not too tired after that, I'll get some reading done. So I got through an intense chapter. I do want to share a little. I think I'll have to go a little earlier before shit goes down. Okay, I think I'll start here. So the doorbell sounds, and then characters say, "Did you order food or something?" "No, I didn't. I don't know who it could be other than it's definitely him." "Wait, what are you doing? Don't answer it." "He knows I'm here, B. My car's out there." "So?" "If you ignore it when he knows you're here, it kind of sends a message, don't you think?" "I guess, but he came all the way here. Isn't it shitty of me to leave him out there without saying anything?" "Compared to the way he's treated you, I think it's rather kind." Things are heating up. And I will say, I'm actually really surprised with how much I'm writing and how far I've gotten. I'm getting towards the climax, and it almost feels like I'm cheating just writing dialogue, but at the same time, I'm really liking what I have so far, and I think once I go back, I'll easily be able to fill things in. It's Tuesday. Just kidding. It's Wednesday because I did not film yesterday. I was laser focused on work, and then by the time I got to writing, I didn't feel like having a camera in front of me, so I was staring at a screen all day. So I didn't really want to read. The arc I'm reading is an ebook, so I just didn't want to keep staring at a screen after doing so for hours. So I didn't post the arc review yesterday, but I got to it today. I finished the book, wrote the review, posted it, good to go. The book is called Twin Tides by Hien Wen. It is YA horror, and it has to do with twins, obviously. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of what I said in my review was that it reminded me of The Grudge plus Scream plus The Parent Trap. Weird combo of movies, but that's what it felt like. It also reminded me of an arc I read not too long ago. I think it was about a month ago, called And the River Drags Her Down by Ji-hyun Yoon. And that book is also YA horror, and it also has a water ghost. So they're alike in that regard, but they're pretty different. Both really fun Asian horror books that I would recommend. Anyway, I posted my review. I had my writing session. And now I'm just trying to have some downtime. I'm watching The Parent Trap and repainting my nails. Yesterday, I got to the climax of my story. And when I finished, I didn't like what I wrote. I actually went back today. I completely scrapped what I had and rewrote it. And I still don't like it. I don't know. I think I need a different situation for the climax, or a different setting. There's just something about it that's not working. I think for now I'm just going to leave it as is. I know it has to change, but I don't know what to change yet. But I don't want that to stop my flow, so I'm just going to keep going. And I'm not going to read a snippet today. I think pretty much all that I wrote yesterday and today, it's too spoilery. You know, watching The Parent Trap, it reminds me of just how much of like twin culture I would watch when I was younger. Like this, The Parent Trap, but also so much Mary-Kate and Ashley content. I also read Mary-Kate and Ashley books. Here's the direct evidence. Mary-Kate and Ashley Diary. Book about their cartoon. Yes, they had a cartoon. And then all these books. I was obsessed. And then Tia and Tamara from Sister Sister. Dylan and Cole Sprouse from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So many twins in my childhood. And then, fun fact, a project I was working on also had twins. It was the companion novel to Project Road Trip. I was working on it as I was querying Project Road Trip. And initially, it had twins. It was a love triangle with twins. And then I found a book that was going to come out that was very similar to my premise, and it freaked me out. This happens often where I'll have an idea, I'll have a story, and then I'll see it out there in the wild, and I just completely shut down. When I know I have to remember you can't be 100% original. You're gonna find stories out there that are similar in certain aspects, in certain plot points, in character. It's just going to happen. You have to accept that. Nevertheless, seeing that upcoming book did prompt me to change my story. So I scrapped the twins and I just made it to where it was the one love interest, not the twins. I'm not sure if I will ever go back to that story. It was about 20,000 words in, and it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling, or just kind of inspired by Romeo and Juliet, in that the two main characters, their families do not like each other. But I don't know, because it was a companion novel, and because I'm not sure where Project Road Trip is yet, I don't know where Project R&J is either. Although, I have been thinking about Project Road Trip a lot. There have been ideas swirling around in my head, different ways I could update it, I could change it. And something did hit me recently, a different kind of angle, and I got really excited about that. So, yeah, I am feeling that itch to work on something different. So, I don't know, I could return to Project Road Trip sooner than I thought. You know how you have things planned for the end of your story, but then you actually get to the end of the story and you're like, I don't think this fits anymore. That's where I'm at right now. Today I've been working on the fallout from Climax, and I'd already had a plot twist planned, but then later I thought of another plot twist, and I'm now trying to implement both of them, and it feels like too much. And one of them honestly feels like a cliche now that I'm seeing it. Yeah, reading it through, I think I'm gonna have to take it out. I think that'll be one of the things I ask my writer friends. I have a lot of questions for them. But yeah, let's get to some of the dialogue that I wrote today. Again, getting into some real spoilery territory. I think I can only reveal maybe a few lines. I think this should be okay. You know, I wanted to be a doctor. Yeah, wasn't that because of Harmony? Well, no, she was certainly happy I was pursuing it, but the idea was all mine. It was actually because of name. And this section is from heart to heart with my main character and another character. I have a couple more key scenes, key conversations I need to get in here, and then I'm getting very close to the end. It's crazy. It is crazy. The end is actually in sight. Oh, oh, Mickey. Oh my god. Guys, are you seeing this? I'm in fucking disbelief right now. I reached the epilogue. Oh my god. I finished my fucking book. What the Sorry, I can't stop cursing. But what the I was writing out the last scene, and I wasn't even realizing that it was the last scene, but I was writing a big moment. And then as it got to like the last few lines, and I started typing them out, I was like, oh, this is it. This is how I want to end this. I want to end it here. I haven't written the epilogue yet, and I still have to cushion all this dialogue with actual prose. But I hit the end. I don't know what to do. Well, right, of course, but I think I'm going to stop here. I think I need to break for the weekend, and then I think next week I'm gonna try to finish this thing. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna order a pizza. I need junk food right now.